Now, I like Jimmy Palmiotti, but this was a pretty bad take, and I think he knows it based on his turning off comments on the post, making sure nobody can respond. That's always a bad sign when you're going out there on public social media and doing that kind of thing. But this is what you get when you're part of the mainstream industry and you are still celebrated by the mainstream industry, even though he's gone independent. You have to come from this perspective. You have to hate Trump, and you have to be frustrated with Trump supporters. It's really, really sad. But things are going great as a Trump supporter in comics who's been blacklisted by DC Comics, who's had DC Comics pros, not Palmiotti, but others, actually get me banned from platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, so my books, they don't want me to compete. It's really ridiculous hearing that history will not be kind and you've been conned. It comes across as a personal insult that's kind of ugly. Now let's get into this news in just a moment. Smash that like and subscribe button and join us here as we talk about all things in comics. Really appreciate you for being here. I have a book on Fund My Comic, which is called The Emerald Array, and we are getting this all wrapped up. Our final sort of tweaks should be done by Monday to get this going to the printer, so you won't want to miss this. Grab it. It's a fun Space Marine comic. It is just pure action adventure. It is what comics used to be, what DC Comics and Marvel Comics used to make before they went all deranged and stopped doing this kind of thing. And I'd love for you to check it out. It's in the description below. Support independent comics and the channel, and thank you guys for being here. Okay, former DC Comics creator Jimmy Palmiotti mostly keeps his feet away from politics. He talks mostly about comic books and is generally more friendly than most leftist creators in the space. But every once in a while, he pushes a button on a regrettable post, as today he said, "History will not be kind to supporters of President Donald Trump over the change of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America." Yes, it's just about that, which is really silly because it's just a name, and that name is doesn't make sense that it's Gulf of Mexico, like it is America as a North America continent, if you don't even want to look at it like that and don't want to make it a United States kind of thing. And so it does make sense to change its name. Google has actually adopted it, and so it is now something that everybody's going to start saying, and you just start doing it. This is how names of things get changed. So, he's frustrated by this because he just wants to signal against Donald Trump, and this is not something that impacts him negatively. It's not something that impacts anybody else negatively. But at the same time, you just got to keep signaling when you're part of this. It's the Trump derangement thing that's a huge part of the comic book industry, and it's why the comic book industry's turned off more than half of America at this point, right? And that's why they're in such dire straits. Now, Palmiotti, if you don't know who he is, he's best known for his work on Harley Quinn and All-Star Western at DC Comics. I love All-Star Western. Those books are hard to find now, guys, but it's great stuff. If you want to try to search that, it's good. It's really good stuff. As an independent creator, he's been a fan favorite, and he's been a little less extreme about disassociating with people than most of the mainstream comic book industry, to his credit. He's notably been friends with Eric July, and he's been here on the channel for an interview as well, which I put in my article today. You can search it on the channel if you want to check that. Had a great time talking comics with him. So this is not personal against him. Don't dislike Jimmy Palmiotti or anything like that. But we are just going to cover the statement because it's absurd. Sometimes he vents his frustrations on lines, attacks supporters of Donald Trump, much like the mainstream industry. This week, he took exception to President Trump renaming Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has been widely accepted and changed on Google, as said at the beginning of this video. He posted, "It will never be the Gulf of America." Well, Google disagrees. "It will be a reveal when someone seriously calls it that," which has happened. "Once again, history will not be kind. Even those that voted for him are embarrassed by him daily." I don't think so. I don't know if you hang out on MAGA X much, Palmiotti. I don't think you do. But we're thrilled. Everything that's been going on has been fantastic. I think this is a great change. I think it's fun. I think having fun and of course, representing America is a good thing. And that's it. Disagree, but his one true goal is power. He's already got power. He's got the three branches of government, bro. So there's nothing left at this point. You've been conned. And so what people are taking exception with here, and what he eventually, his next post will show that he knows that people are not liking what he posted here. You'll see that people are saying, people who voted for him are embarrassed. History will not be kind. You've been conned. So the history will not be kind. We've heard this, "You're on the wrong side of history," from these people since 2016. It's been obnoxious that that leads to the Nazi argument and all that crap, which is bullshit. And everybody is sick of it and hates it, right? We're not embarrassed by him. We think it's great. We voted him back because we are sick and we were embarrassed of Joe Biden, who was pooping his pants out there. I mean, he could not even know where he's at, depending on what day it was. He was an embarrassment to the country. That is a real embarrassment that was happening, and that's exactly what we're pushing back against. The legal system was also used to, of course, try to destroy political opponents of that regime. People are sick of it. We lose our jobs. I'm blacklisted, Jimmy Palmiotti, from DC and Marvel Comics because I'm a Trump supporter. That's what came out. That's what got me there. That's why I'm banned from all these platforms. They try to destroy our livelihoods. We're sick of it. So when you tell us that we're embarrassed by him or history will not be kind or we've been conned like we're somehow dumb, we're not dumb. We just know that like the alternative is this like oppressive regime that destroys people. It destroys artists and it tries to keep its thumb on everything. That's what we're upset about. If you don't understand that at this juncture, if you haven't seen your friends like who are also out there who have been destroyed by this kind of thing just for voting for Trump over the last 12 years since Trump won 3 elections in a row. That's right, undefeated, except for the cheating and stealing that went on the other side, which has been pretty much proven at this point. I don't know where you've been at, but this is a very, very tone-deaf take on this level. So here it is. Those that love the man, it's my opinion. You don't have to lose your mind. And yes, we understand that it's your opinion, but you didn't really just talk about the guy. You kind of insulted Trump supporters, and that's why people are getting upset about this. Other people see things differently. It's okay. We both like a lot of other things. We don't agree here. Not the end of the world. Relax. I'm not coming to your page to freak out. And that's to Jimmy Palmiotti's credit. That's why I mentioned at the beginning he's been very cool online compared to other people, and he is allowed to have his opinions, of course. But it is also something that, if you're gonna post something where you are attacking Trump supporters, not just saying you don't like a Trump policy, which is silly. Again, this is over Gulf of America of all things. You're going to get some blowback. Now, he turned off comments on this, which, he does. I've seen when he does political things like this, a lot of times he deletes his posts and turns off comments because it seems like he just kind of gets mad, vents himself, and then kind of moves on, which is a healthy way to deal with things. This is very different from a lot of other people in the comic book industry, and I've seen a lot of people who are just absolutely disgusting on this level, which we've covered at length on the channel here as well. And that's why I actually think Palmiotti is a good guy, and that's why I support his work, because, his work's good. It doesn't add any of this stuff into it, and it is just his opinion, and he does just state that, which is cool on him. But it does need to be clarified. This is why people are outraged about it. This is why there's that kind of visceral response about it if you don't understand why you'd be getting that on this kind of thing, and it is happening. So Comic Fan Student of God elaborated on this. You've been conned, and you can see that's exactly what he takes exception with. He's like, Jimmy Palmiotti just basically said I'm stupid. I'm not stupid, right? And that's where people will take a personal exception. At a time where there's billions of dollars of government waste, fraud, abuse being found, this MF has the audacity to tell you Trump conned you, and this is over just at Gulf of America. 0 tweets about government waste. We're all very happy that the government waste is being cleaned up and all this stuff. Now, this is not my reaction. This is just a comic fan's reaction who supports President Trump, who's, seeing he's getting personally attacked over that. And that's why there's this kind of statement on here. So phrase things a little better, Jimmy. If you don't like the Gulf of America thing, you're allowed to not like it. It's kind of silly. It's not an important thing at the end of the day at all. And it's not something even remotely controversial. Again, this is North America, so it's not North Mexico. And so having that sort of realm body of water doesn't really make sense that it has to do with Mexico when Mexico does not control even half of the landmass surrounding it. All right. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button, everybody here. Really appreciate you for being here and supporting independent comics, banned and blacklisted from the mainstream industry from Trump support. This is what we got here. Check it out. It's in the description below. The Emerald Array back at today, guys. It's going to be gone soon, and you won't want to miss this.